All right, so let's go to the next exercise, which is outcome and processes. And so what we really want to do here is in the outcome plus processes, we want to understand what the ideal result and the best end for your goal is. So this is really a measurement type of activity. We want you to be very specific. So like I mentioned, I want you to put exactly when you say replace income, what does that mean? So if you've got any of your vision items and they don't have anything that has a very specific result or conclusion to it, I want you to, in this area, in this step, that's what we're going to do here. We also, from a process perspective, I want you to identify what kind of skills do you need? What do you need to help you get there, right? So Lorene mentioned time management. Well, is it that maybe you don't really understand how to manage your time better? So maybe you need some education in that space. Maybe, so for me, health-wise, it's always, my goal is to lose weight. And what I need is not that I don't need to know how to lose weight, I need accountability, right? So that's the process that I need, is I need to have something that helps me be accountable. I also know that I need food prep, right? Those are the things from a process perspective that you want to do. Characteristics, again, specific, measurable, and timetable. We want to take that vision and we want to get it to the next level, which is what is the end result? Don't be vague, right? So I want to be happy. That's vague, right? I want to specifically go out on a date with my husband once a month, every, for the rest of the year. That's very specific, right? The process to make sure I go out on a date is I'm going to put it on the calendar, and every third Thursday we're going out on a date, right? And characteristics is every month in the next year, right? That's what we want to do in step 3. All right, so here's an example. So family, so remember in my family example, I want to see my family more often. I want to dedicate real time to connect and catch up. So one of the outcomes and processes is that I'm going to plan a family reunion that happens on the same holidays each year, right? And so that's actually what I did last year for my family and close friends. Is I planned a group cruise in the summer, and we are going to do that every year. So at minimum, every year, my entire family, my immediate family, my kids, my husband, my best friend, and his family, we go on a cruise in the summertime. So that was my outcome and process that I did to make sure that I connect with those people that are super important to me, right? So does that make sense to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to take your goal or your vision, and we're going to say, what can you do to achieve that? So I'm going to use, because I think Lorene and Cynthia had the same thing. You want to replace your income, right? Well, what can you do to achieve replacing your income as one or two steps that you can do? Now you know the number, but what can you do to make that tangible, right? Let me give you an example of something that could be, right? The first step is I want to be making $1,000 in commission, in the first quarter. Next quarter, maybe I want to be making $2,000, so that's what we want to do here. We want to be specific, right? I can get 5 clients or I can get 5 group trips. That's the kind of thing that we want you to do in this area, particularly for your business. If you guys need any help on the business area, let me know and just tell me what the goal is, and we can talk through what that example would be. Okay, 5 minutes. was it for you guys on the outcome and processes?
Was a little more difficult.
That one is a little bit more difficult. That's right. Okay, so Andrea, give me some examples. Give me a goal or give me your vision and which one did you have a hard time with?
Well, the one that I worked at was my health. My vision is it's like 4 parts. It's to lose 60 pounds, um, be able to fit in an airplane seatbelt without having to pull it all the way out. It has to get what else did I put? Getting like consistent with going to the gym because I'm not, and then getting back to walking 5 miles at least 3 times a week.
I
So,
like the seatbelt one because I have the same issue. Like I would have never thought to say that, but that is actually that like, and I don't want to touch anybody when I like.
mm-hmm.
All right. So your actual ones, you could actually put these as sub ones under the lose 60 pounds, but your vision is 60 pounds. The walking, you said up to 5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the day or what is that?
I said 5 miles 3 times a week.
Okay. How many times a week?
3.
Okay. All right. So a process or an outcome that you could have is you could create a schedule for how you're going to get there. Right? You're going to start off. You want to walk one time a week, right? As far as you can, right? Without stopping, right? And then another one would be I want to, by the end of the first quarter, I want to be able to do 2 miles, 2 times a week. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's to create, the pounds that you want to lose. An outcome and process that you could do is I'm going to create a weight loss plan that says I'm going to lose 20 pounds by the first quarter. I'm going to lose another 20 pounds by the second quarter, right? So those would be an example of how you do. Now the seatbelt, if you're traveling a lot, I don't know how we could determine the seatbelt one, but we could figure out how long the seatbelt is and then use that as a measurement for you to just gauge yourself at home, right? I'm going to measure myself I don't recommend doing that shit daily. That shit just pisses you off, right? I'm going to measure myself once a month. I'm going to start with this measurement and I want to get down to this measurement, in the next 2 to 3 months, right? So again, what we want to do is we want to create these processes and outcomes in enough chunks so that they're not disheartening. So if you wait all year, you're not going to have the opportunity to celebrate your successes and your interims. If you say, by the end of the year, I want to lose 60 pounds, right? Well, by month 2 and you've only lost 10 pounds, you're like, well, bunk that, right? So that's what we want to set some increments on that. So that's what you could do for those kind of goals. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of break it down, right? So if you want to do 5 miles and 3 times a week, that's the end goal. How can we get you there is just starting to walk. Like I just want to be able to walk, get out of the house and walk, at minimum 3 times a week, right? Just get out of the house. I'm going to get out of the house every night or every morning, whatever that time frame is, or even at lunch. I mean, I don't know what your work situation is, but I'm going to go and work at work, and I'm going to walk around the building, right? That would be a good outcome and process too.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, Lorraine, how are you? How did you do with this one?
So for me, I'm still haven't completed this one because in order for me to get exactly what my outcome would be to replace my income, I have to know exactly how many customers per month or would be sufficient enough for me to say, well, okay, I'm going to get to that goal. And I'm not sure yet um, as for how much like what percent what percent of a booking that would go towards um, my, my earnings?
So then that would be a perfect outcome and process is I'm going to identify what it takes to be able to, from a booking and a client acquisition to achieve my goal. That's a great outcome and process, right? That's one of the things that you want to be able to do is be able to say, okay, I need to be hitting these numbers every month and growing it by X percentage. So that's a skill that you don't have now. Put it down as an outcome and process that's what you want to achieve.
Okay.
Okay. Another one would be as you guys have been working with me for some time. Some of you are new, some of you are not. One of the things, particularly in your business, that you need is a way to consistently attract strangers. And you've already put that down as one of your goals, Lorraine. You said, I want to be able to do that without having to go and hit the pavement every time I put together a package, right? So how do you attract people? If you don't know how to do that, put that down as one of your outcome and processes. I want to learn how to attract new people to my business without me having to, exert a lot of effort to do that.
Okay.
All right. So this is about acknowledging that you may not have the skill sets for whatever it is that you want to achieve. And that's one of the things that we want to make sure that you put down as a result is you want to achieve that skill set and then obviously implement the skills that you need. Cynthia, how about you?
I have it all down, and what I actually had to do though, as well, because I got a little bit of everything as I think Andrea, weight loss, and then I just kind of broke everything down, and as well with my travel agent business that I want to keep going. I kind of broke everything down so that way I know each month, set myself little small goals instead of, like you mentioned, instead of saying, okay, I want to lose, 50 pounds by the end of the year. That's just like a big, broad number by a certain date that if I didn't kind of just break it down per month, then I probably won't, because I've done it before. I won't even keep up with it because I'm just like, oh, I got, I can still, I'll make up, next month. I'll make up next month. And then 12 months go by and nothing. So what I actually started doing to prepare myself for next year is that I got a daily planner to where I can each day write down, just do a schedule of, okay, I'm going to wake up at, 5 o'clock in the morning. I have pets, so I have to take care of my little fur babies, work out, do this much walking as well, like Andrea mentioned earlier, and then do some travel work, between the hours of, I gave myself about 3 to 4 hours, just depending on how much I see myself doing. Lunch break, of course, I got to take a lunch break, and then house chores or, cook dinner, all of that is, scheduled. I've got it all on a daily planner. So that way I can just, keep up with myself and then have something to be accountable for every day.
So that's a good outcome to summarize your outcome and process for your health is to track daily your activities, right? And
yes.
Make sure that you schedule those activities on a daily basis.
Correct.
Right? So that's a great outcome and process. And so I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of insight on me in terms of the weight thing, right? So I had the goal to lose weight, and what I didn't account for when we talk about constraints and blockers is vacation. That, I was losing weight, doing great. Then I go on vacation and it totally derailed me and I didn't go back to it. So I need to now account for vacation time. And when I'm not able to stick to the schedule, how will I hold myself accountable? So that's something for you guys to think about as well, right? And we're going to actually go over this a little bit in terms of things that potentially are going to derail you and identify those. But all right, TT, I think you were next.
So I had some health goals too. I want to stop eating pork again
You want to
because
stop what?
eating pork again.
The swine, huh?
Yeah, because I stopped eating it for years. Then I went on a vacation. And
The vacation.
that was all I went to DR and that's all that they had. So I started eating pork again.
The DR.
Yep. So I want to stop doing that again. Also, I want to start drinking, making my sea moss because I have hyperthyroidism, and that's really good for balancing out your thyroid. And I have it in my kitchen. I just have not made it. So, huh?
What's it called?
Sea moss, Irish sea moss.
Okay. Well, I don't have a thyroid anymore, and I know my energy is related to that, but I'm going to talk to you offline about that.
Okay. So that's for health. For my business, like Cynthia was saying, how she wants to, well, like you were giving her the example, I want to make $1,000 in the first quarter, $2,000 in the second quarter. So I was thinking, in order for me to do that, that I would pick out my suppliers that I would like to work with, who would give me the greatest amount of commission, and pick packages or make packages that I could sell that would get me the commission that I wanted. So I was thinking that if I did packages for, I don't know, like $6,000, and that got me a $300, $400 commission. If I did that for 4 to 5 clients, that would get me that $1,000 for the first quarter.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. That's exactly what we want to be doing, is identifying. So the fact that you broke it out by the fact that you want to select your suppliers that you want to be working with, that's a great outcome and process. That give you the maximum amount of commission. That also is a great idea. And then you want to stay at an average package price of X, right? $6,000. That would then equal to this type of commission. Yes, that's exactly what you want to be doing there too. Now, don't forget too, your service fees.
Yes, that too.
Maybe, another outcome for you all as well is, I really do think that your service fees should be greater than $25, but let's just say they are $25. I picked that because most people start at $25 or $50, right? Let's say I want to just, for the first quarter, I want to make sure that I have enough discovery calls that equal, that I get service revenue of $200. I want to start getting service revenue of $200. Then I want to start, by the second quarter, I want to get $500 of service revenue, right? This is kind of how you can help yourself too, is think about it from a commission and a service revenue perspective as well. I want to get groups. And if you don't know how to do that, then make sure you have as one of your processes that you want to acquire how to do that. How to create a schedule of revenue that's going to help you get to your goal. Okay?
Okay.